Hello and welcome to another Looney Tunes commentary. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing as it helps out the channel, and give this video a like if you do like it. So this is a commentary for All This and Rabbit Stew, released in 1941. It's the 340th in the series, and it's directed by Tex Avery. It's in the public domain, and I'm not sure where I got this particular print from, but here with me to discuss this cartoon is my good friend Blue Genocide. Say hi.
First an all Curious Puppies cartoon, now we got racism. Thanks, Anthony.
Yep. I got some explaining to do. Alright, so I'm going to put all this in context. Well, first up, this is part of the Censored 11 series of cartoons, where essentially they were part of a TV package, where in the 60s they realized that 11 cartoons were racist. And as you can see here, it's not particularly good stereotype anyway. But to put into context, this is not some random, lazy African-American thing that Tex Avery's going for. He was parodying an actor at the time named Stephen Fetchit, and he's actually been in two Looney Tunes cartoons prior. He had a brief cameo in Porky's Road Race, and he was featured prominently in another Censored 11 cartoon by Friz Freleng called Clean Pastures. And his whole shtick, if you will, was to play this lazy African-American stereotype. And even back then, a lot of African-Americans weren't exactly happy to see this sort of performance on screen. And I guess the biggest shame about this cartoon is that if you were to replace this stereotype with even just Elmer or something, it would actually be quite funny. There's a lot of really funny gags in this one. What do you think?
I'm the same way. It's really unfortunate that they were just playing up a black comedian of the time that, it's okay to say that, right? Like, he's supposed to be like a stereotype of a comedian that people would have found funny back then, but nowadays it's
because he was doing the stereotype,
not seen
basically.
the same light. Yeah,
exactly. Like, this is funny. Like with Bugs Bunny doing that thing with the plunger. That was like in Picking Up the Skunk. Like, there's a lot of funny gags. And again, with the exception of the very last gag, none of the gags have anything to do with his race either. It's just a so-called, unintelligent hunter. That's basically what he's going for here, and Bugs Bunny outwits him.
If the short had a different voice for the hunter, a slightly different design, and the last gag was rewritten, I don't think we'd have a problem with this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Like, tone down the exaggerated features. Like this bear gag's pretty funny, just how, the bear just happens to be there as well. So, and the thing is, I actually grew up with this cartoon. It was actually because it's in public domain. Of course, it's going to be featured on a public domain thing. But now looking at it, I'm thinking, wow, even in the 90s where I was, this was in a public domain VHS. I'd be curious to know if any of you in the US, if this was featured in any public domain collections, because it's just shocking to me that I'm part of the early YouTube generation. I'll tell you this right now. This cartoon was all over YouTube from the beginning. Oh, yeah. As it would be, being public domain, but
I never found this on a public domain DVD. I don't know why, but I just assume that maybe public domain DVDs at the time had a little bit more class than just to put this one out there because of its, status.
Absolutely. Yeah, but also I want to point out that this gag will eventually be reused by Bob Clampett in one of his final.
It's a great gag. It's a great gag,
and it's funnier.
Why does he turn into why does he have to turn into a grape sucker?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
like the one thing out here that even the animation, like right here, when he realizes, that's great stuff. And if it was any other character, this would be one of the funniest gags ever. And in fact,
Exactly.
the reaction right here is amazing.
Exactly. He is pissed off. I want to point out
If
as
that
well.
was Elmer, like, that would be
Yeah,
great.
exactly. Although we see something similar to that expression in Elmer's Candid Camera as well, by the way. But I want to point out as well that this is the last Tex Avery Bugs Bunny. But however, it was apparently produced before Heckling Hair, but of course released after, hence why we're doing it after. And that's also why you don't see Tex Avery's name in the credits. And here's the gag we were alluding to, that basically the stereotype, that African Americans love to gamble, and that was a theme actually explored in Clean Pastures, and again, another Sense 11 short. But
It's just a shame.
yeah, look, so look, we'll see Bugs do this sort of stereotype action, and it's not the last time he's going to do it. We're going to see something similar in Fresh Hair, where he actually goes into blackface as well, and all that. But yeah, call him Adam. All right. Well, at least that's another one off the list. So, yeah, bit of a rude joke, but thanks very much for listening, guys. And until next time, take care.
Boo.